Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Deion Sanders' comments on his second spring at Colorado, the Pac-12 agreed to a distribution bump, whether Mike Tyson still has it or not, and make sure that you guys stick around for later in the show when we'll be diving into the oddities of the day. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Tate sent me a message, but I ignored it.
I was like, wow.
Makeup's on point. Thank you.
I sent her a message. Hello, everyone. I was waiting till she started. Then I was going to send,
He does it on
send her a
purpose.
message. And I just wanted to see if I could get to her. But then she was like in the zone. And so she wouldn't even look at my message.
I saw it pop up in the corner of my eye, but I was like, nope, I have to finish this.
I truly was timing it till you started too.
I know, he does it on, you do it on purpose.
This one I totally did on purpose. Mm-hmm. How was your weekend? How are you doing? All that good stuff.
My weekend was all right. I worked this weekend. I had yesterday off though, and I was telling Tate I took like a 4-hour nap yesterday and then went to bed at like 10:30, and I get up at 5 o'clock every morning for the show. So like that's 6.5 hours of like uninterrupted sleep. But because I took a 4-hour nap prior to that, I am like so well rested today.
Faith and I are polar opposites.
Yeah.
I woke up at 1 a.m. and started my day.
Yeah. And started work after he woke up at 1 a.m. I was like, you're insane. I would never do that.
So right now it's 11. So I've been going for 10 straight hours, and I still have probably another 10 hours to go today.
No. Mm-mm.
and for you people to think that's a 20-hour day and that's crazy. And yes, it is. That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
And to break it up, I'll take my lunch and I'll go to the beach and I'll hang out on the ocean for my lunch, and I'll do all my stuff and take in some nice weather, and then I'm ready to go again.
What's crazy is he's like wide awake too right now. If I had been up since 1 a.m. working, I would be dead by the time 11 o'clock rolled around.
You don't understand. Not only am I awake, but tonight when I leave here, I'll leave the office probably at about 9:30 tonight. I'll be still wide awake and ready to go. I'm still
Nope.
been that way. I've been this way my whole life. I get, like most people, what they get in a day, I do. What they do in 2 days, I do it in a day because I just have more time than everyone else.
Yeah.
It just seems like.
Nope. I like my sleep. I enjoy my sleep, so.
This isn't like, yeah, this is a choice I've made. I cannot sleep. I just don't sleep at all.
Poor Tate.
Yes. But I got a pretty good life, so it's all good. I just get a lot done.
Yeah, you're never behind for sure. That's one thing.
If you guys knew what my life was like and how much stuff I have to do, and like I still have probably 8 more meetings to do after doing the show today. I mean, it's just I got a full schedule.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's dive into the good stuff.
Well, if you guys were watching our show last week, we covered Deion Sanders a little bit and his son Shedeur. So Deion Sanders has said that they're going to win this coming year, basically. him touching on the second spring at Colorado. He sort of predicted his team would earn a bowl game appearance this year, saying the amount of games his team would play in 2024. And he says that we're going to win. I know that. You know that. He's very, he seems like it's going to happen this year. So how do you feel about that? Do you think Colorado's gonna pull through this year?
Actually, I do. I do. I think Colorado's going to shock a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, okay, people look at Deion's last year as a failure. So many people do. You look at the team that's been the absolute worst college football Power 5 conference team for the last decade and a half.
Right.
Some of the worst recruiting classes for a decade and a half. The year before last, before Deion's first season, they won one game. No one was really excited about go to Colorado. Deion went to Colorado, instantly brought in a ton of recruits, started out 3-0, ended up winning 4 games. That sounds horrible because down the stretch he ended up losing. He lost to Oregon. He lost to USC. I think he lost to Arizona and Utah. These were all really good. This is the strongest. The year the Pac-12 folded was maybe the best year ever. So the Pac-12 was stacked. Deion brought in turned that team around by so much, and was competitive. Should have beat USC. Should have beat a couple other teams. So Deion, if he doesn't blow a couple of games, if he just continued, he would have made a bowl last year. He has 2 losses that he should not have had. Okay. Now, that was his first year in Colorado. Since then, Colorado's, which is a tourist community, tourism has gone through the roof. It was great before, it's phenomenal now. Enrollment has gone through the roof. It was okay, now it's phenomenal. The athletic department was a struggling, losing money athletic department. Not good. It's good now. Yeah. The tourist dollars, the tax, the Deion effect has had such a huge impact. I was talking to a gentleman, and he was talking about how much tourism is just coming in. Minority enrollment is through the roof there. Everything has changed. Not to mention, we talked about a big improvement that what he's done, but even this year, now they have an even better offensive line. They now have a deeper team. The reason why they lost some of their games was the fact that Deion was only able to recruit the starters, but the backups were still very low-level backups, 1, 2-star athletes. Now the backups are going to be 2, 3, 4-star athletes, which gives Deion even more of a chance where he has a deeper team. So, do I think Deion's going to do better this year? I do. Do I think Deion's going to make a bowl game? I do. The big question I have is, can they make a playoff berth? Because I definitely think they're gonna make a bowl game, and that's not a compliment, by the way. I just want you to know that. I'm going to say this right out the gate. Saying you're gonna make a bowl game, Faith, me, you, your mom, grandma, and dad, and a couple of friends in your neighborhood we can contend for a bowl game. There's so many bowl. There has to be like there's a Cheez-It Bowl, there's a Pop-Tart Bowl.
There are a lot of bowl games. I didn't honestly think about that until you just said that. So
I know we can make the Top Ramen Bowl or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The dumpster diving bowl. Some type of bowl out there we can make. I think you only need like 5 wins, 6 wins. You're guaranteed to make a bowl.
Well, they were close. They were close last year.
Right. That's all I'm saying. That's how close they were to making a bowl. So when Deion says, "Hey, we're making a bowl,"
to say that you're going to
make a bowl.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It could be. Don't be surprised if it's like the Colorado, community bowl. But it's gonna be a bowl out there with Deion's name on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from? He's getting into a bowl. But the question is, can he make the college football playoff? This would be, in previous years, it would be an absolutely no way possible. But it is possible this year. I think he's on the outside looking in, and I don't see him getting into the college football playoff. But let's say Deion goes through, and last year they had one of the toughest schedules in the nation. If not, in my opinion, it was maybe the toughest schedule in the nation last year. This year, a much easier schedule. It's a much easier schedule. So if Deion can get there and have, let's say, a 3-loss season, is that enough to get him into a bowl game? Because not a bowl game, sorry. He's getting into a bowl game. Into the playoffs. That's the question that I have. I'm assuming he's getting there. I know that a lot of the sports reporters are like, well, Deion, you only won 4 games. They won 1 game. 100% improvement is 2 games. 300%. 400% improvement from the previous year. The previous year, their average loss was 20-something points a game. Everybody spanked them before Deion got there. Now they had a very small margin. When they lost, they only got blown out by I think a couple games that they get blown out. Everybody else, they had a chance of beating everyone they played except for 2 teams. This is why, and it's a much better team. That offensive line hugely improved. The old offensive coordinator, he kind of has moved on. He was a guy from Kent State University. I liked him. I wanted him to do well, but he didn't do well. They have a brand new offensive coordinator, a stronger offensive line. They probably have the deepest wide receiving core in the nation. I'm even saying better than Georgia, better than Alabama, better than Ohio State, better than Michigan. They have the best receivers in the country when you look at that. The question I have is, can they run the ball? Shedeur Sanders, his son, he finished the year. Wait, when I say someone's injured, what do you think? He got a sore rib. Maybe his knees hurt.
He demolished his back, didn't he?
Right, yes.
It was pretty bad.
He had a broken back.
Yeah.
That's how much he was just getting lit up. They brought in the number 1 offensive tackle in the nation recruiting, brought him in. They brought in other 4- and 5-star offensive linemen. If they can protect Shedeur and run the ball, then they can contend for a playoff spot. But that all comes down to how much everything depends on that offensive line. If they give Shedeur some time, he's going to eat some teams up. If they can run the ball so that last year, Shedeur was sacked more than pretty much, I think it was more than any player in Division I football. They ran the ball the least effective in major college football. If Shedeur's not getting sacked and they're able to run the ball, they're going to win some games. So, yeah, I do see them contending. I just want to know are they going to contend for a playoff spot?
Yeah. Well, it does. They did say that his back is all healed up, so he should be okay for this year and for their spring game in Boulder on April 27th. So, and it's since he's not leaving, because we talked about last week.
Yeah, he's in.
Yeah, since he's not leaving, I feel pretty confident with Colorado, honestly.
Actually, it's kind of funny. This is before you joined the show. At this time last year, I was complaining, talking about Georgia and Alabama, Georgia and Colorado, because I was like, this is not right. How can you have a team like Colorado, who was the worst team in the nation, having one of the toughest schedules in the nation, and the team that was considered the best team in the nation, which was Georgia, had one of the easiest schedules in the nation. Absolutely one of the easiest schedules in the nation. And I had a big problem with that. Boy.
Well, now look at...
I can't say that this year. Georgia, what Georgia had last year, whoa.
Our schedule is pretty tough this
year. What cost Georgia last year was their schedule was so easy so that when they lost to Alabama, no one could because of the schedule. I know could put them in. This year, Georgia's schedule's tough enough that even if Georgia lost twice, I still may stick them into the playoff. Georgia's schedule is tough this year, and so it's it's just those years. Sometimes I've had people talk about it was, they set it up. They didn't want to see Deion win, so they stacked his schedule. They want to see Georgia win, so they made it easy. No, it's just how the schedule works sometimes. Last year, Georgia was easy. This year, it's a beast. Georgia the crazy thing when we're talking about Georgia is Georgia could literally be one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the nation.
No, we are.
And not make the playoffs. That's because 3 losses is possible with them this year. Michigan, I'm a big Michigan fan. I don't see Michigan making the playoffs either. I think Georgia's making the playoffs. What it makes it. I don't think Michigan's making the playoffs. I'm not sure about Deion making the playoffs. Georgia, even though their schedule is tough, Georgia has a very talented team. And so I still see Georgia making it. I don't see Michigan making it. And Colorado's on the bubble. That's my
it's a toss-up with Colorado.
Yes.
Well, only a few more months.
Okay, here's a question for you before we go. Because we've talked about so much college football, does it kind of get you fired up and ready for the season already?
I'm always fired up and ready for the season, but now I'm even more fired up. And I might actually watch some other games other than Georgia games. We'll see, though.
Oh, no. You're required to watch other games. I'm just gonna make every Monday we're gonna break down. We're gonna break down the game that I like. Did you watch the Ohio State game? I just start quizzing you on the game.
Fun times.
Thank you. I'll be leaving right before kickoff.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And actually, when we come back, we're going to be talking about the college football playoff a little bit. So make sure you guys stick around, and we'll see you in a minute.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing Deion Sanders' second spring at Colorado, and now we're going to be discussing the college football playoffs and Pac-12 agreeing to a significant distribution bump. But before we do that, I just want to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is gsmcpodcast.net. This will put your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Alrighty. Some more stuff with what I call.
Yes. The only thing I was going to say is it's kind of funny because I didn't even realize this when we're until we went on break. I thought of it as like, oh, we have a segment about this college football, Deion Sanders, and then it kind of hit me. Wait a minute. We got back-to-back college football segments.
That's what I was trying to tell you earlier.
I don't even think about Deion. Like, Deion's his own topic that I don't even think of him as like a college football one until toward the end when we're talking about will he make the playoffs or not. And then it hit me like, hey, we're still talking college football. It just kind of hit me, yes. So.
Alrighty. Well, guys, we're adding more to what I call the college football playoff reality drama telenovela TV show. Yeah. So, with the college football playoff, Pac-12 has agreed to a significant distribution bump for Oregon State and Washington State. The college football playoff has finalized a new media rights contract, and what's left of the Pac-12 is set to benefit from the updated distribution model. Oregon State and Washington State will each receive $3.6 million annually from 2026, when the new agreement is set to begin, to at least 2028, 3 years before the deal is set to expire. The negotiated amount pales in comparison to what other power conference schools will make under the model, but it is a huge increase from the nominal Pac-2's financial prospects. Prior to the amendment, Oregon State and Washington State were set to make around $350,000 annually from the college football playoff distribution, the same figure granted to independent programs not named Notre Dame. The Pac-12 is pleased the college football playoff will continue to grow as an incredible sporting event for our student athletes and fans, the Pac-12 said in a statement. The new agreement to continue on ESPN platform provides excellent exposure opportunities for Oregon State and Washington State football programs to succeed on the biggest stage in college sports. Tuesday's finalized media right deal allows ESPN to broadcast college football playoff games through the 2031 season. In exchange, the college football playoff will receive $1.3 billion annually, according to Dodd, which triples the amount of the previous contract. And the SEC and Big Ten will receive about 29% of the annual conference distribution, or approximately $22 million per school, per Dodd. The ACC will get 17%, which is $13 to $14 million per school. The Big 12's cut will sit around 15%, $12 million per school, and Notre Dame, which plays independent of a conference, will receive $12 million. So good for the Pac-12, honestly, for getting that much money.
It's amazing. This
Props
story
to
came
y'all.
out last week, but there was so much going on, and I'm like, man, I want to get the story in here.
Yeah.
This is too good. This is too good to be like, nah, it's not going to make it. So it didn't make it the cutting room floor last week. So we were like, we're going to keep that bad boy going. We're bringing the Pac-12 back. First off.
How did they go from $350,000 to $3.6 million annually? That
is called a come up. That is called not fumbling the bag.
Yeah.
That's what that is called. First off, right out the gate, that is called not fumbling the bag whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually, I'm not fumbling my bag, and I'm picking up these extra bags over here that just so happen to get dropped.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of things, when I saw this, things started to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It all made sense because I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because everything I've been seeing is the Pac-12 plans on sticking around.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, so much so that they plan on, there's talk that they may start adding teams as early as June.
Oh.
And the things I've heard is they may start with Gonzaga, bringing Gonzaga into the Pac-12, and maybe a couple other basketball schools from the West Coast Conference, and then bringing in more football schools later in the year to the point that they're completely rebuilt, and then they're able to compete on the level they once were. So the reason why it didn't make sense to me is this: to change the college football playoff on the committee, it had to be 100% voted for. And Washington State's chancellor was on the committee. And I'm like, listen, we're not, they were kind of like, we're not doing anything unless Pac-12 is taken care of. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everything was decided. Pac-12 is voting, everyone's voting. You look at the numbers and it's like, they're getting 300,000. I'm like, 300,000? The Pac-12, that's like a 12 used to get that.
That's just like pocket change that they're throwing out.
That's just a mere bag of shells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then they agreed on the money deal for the new contract. And like, no fight from the Pac-12. But I'm like, the Pac-12 got to be getting some underhanded deals here. They must be getting some cheddar behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But what they did was they negotiated smart. They can't demand. There's only 2 teams in the Pac-12 right
so they
now.
can't demand a lot of money.
But they did.
And they got it.
But they did. And here's the thing. The Pac-12, I mean, the ACC is getting how much? Like 13? 18?
ACC is getting 17%, which is $13 to $14 million per school.
Okay, $13 to $14 million. And you know Clemson and Florida State. are upset. So they're getting 13 of that per school. A conference that only has two people, two teams.
Two teams, and they're getting $3.6 million.
They're getting 3.6 each. When you do that math, it's just kind of like what happens when we got 16 teams? Let's say we get 12.
Yeah.
That's why they're like, okay, you know what? We don't have it right now, but we're buying our time here.
Also,
see.
Notre Dame is getting $12 million, and they're only one school.
Yeah, I'm still shocked over that one. Not the way you're thinking. I'm surprised that you don't understand how much the country loves Notre Dame for some reason. I'm surprised Notre Dame took so little. I am still surprised. I thought Notre Dame would somehow work out a deal that they're getting as much as the Big Ten and SEC is getting. That's what I was waiting on.
Whew.
You don't understand. Notre Dame is the school that don't even belong into a conference.
Yeah.
But got a television deal, and the Pac-12 couldn't get a television deal. You understand that? Hey, we will sign Notre Dame, but we ain't signing the Pac-12, the Conference of Champions. We're not signing them at all.
What is the big deal about Notre Dame? Their football team sucks.
Listen, okay, I'm not about to say it all wrong, but I am not a Notre Dame fan at all. Sorry if y'all don't like that. Not a Notre Dame fan. But Notre Dame has a storied history that goes back a long, long way. You know, when you're watching Princeton win national championships and Army winning national championships, Notre Dame was still good back then. Fast forward 100 years, Notre Dame is still good, and they have a huge following. They have their own single national deal, not a deal like, oh, in the Chicago area, we're going to play Notre Dame games. No. From coast to coast, every Saturday that Notre Dame has a home game, it don't matter if you're in Juneau, Alaska, you can catch a Notre Dame game. You can't do that if you're Georgia. Notre Dame is going to be seen on TV more than Georgia, more than Alabama, more than Texas, more than Ohio State, Michigan. They're going to be seen the most, meaning every game they have a deal with CBS. Every game that they have a live game on, they're playing their game. That's kind of this deal they have. That's the reason why they won't join the Big Ten. That's why they're using the ACC. You know, the ACC is kind of like their side chick. We won't play football in your conference, but we'll let the Tiddlywink squad play over in the ACC. The women's curling team gets to play in the ACC, but you're not touching our football. You know, that's how big they are. But back to the main story, which is the fact that the Pac-12 has a deal. And then when they say that the 2028, when the deal changes, they don't say after 2028, then they get a lesser deal. It's just, then it gets reevaluated. Meaning in 2028, when they have a bigger conference and it's been rebuilt, they're going to get more money. The Pac-12 isn't done.
Who would have thought that this would happen? Because I'm pretty sure, like, you and I a month ago were convinced that the Pac-12 was going to be out the door, gone.
I'm going to tell you here, you want to hear something even crazier? I think there is a better chance that the Pac-12 is back and alive and strong and the ACC is dead.
It looks like it's going that way right now, yeah.
I could totally see that scenario. If a judge comes in, the Pac-12, they have their 100, 200 million, 300 million that they got from the settlement with the former teams. They got this extra money here. They're set up for years to come. And there's no fighting with them. It's just two of them. They're like, listen, you're all I got. I'm all you got. We're arm in arm, hooked together.
Yeah.
And then look at the ACC. They're like, you know, Florida State's going, Florida State's going to the body, and Clemson going to the head, and Miami and North Carolina sneaking up behind them with a couple of shanks.
Yeah.
The ACC is in trouble, not the Pac-12. You know, they're rising up like the Undertaker from WWE. Everyone thinks Pac-12 is dead. No, they're not.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 is coming back, guys. So, do you see my scenario where I actually think the Pac-12 is going to end up in a better situation than the ACC?
Especially if they're getting $3.6 million annually until 2028. I don't know how. I don't know how they managed that. I don't know how they managed that. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed that they managed to get $3.6 million when they were only supposed to get like $350.
They were supposed to get $350, not $350,000. $350. No, I'm just joking about that part. But they're in a really it's crazy to say, but do you understand? The Pac-12 is making bank right now.
Yeah.
During March Madness, all those teams, as they keep all those Pac-12 teams that's winning, that's not going in their pocket. When they when March Madness, all the teams that have left the Pac-12, no, that money goes to the Pac-Dub. That goes to Oregon State and Washington State.
Yeah.
They already got that big chunk of cash. Now they're getting the March Madness money. And they get it for a couple of years. They got dividends coming in from everywhere right now, and they just got to split it between two teams. They're getting out of debt and everything else, and they have the ability. They have financially have the ability to rebuild. Now, if you're Boise State, who you're hoping, how much does Mountain West get? Did they say that in there? The Mountain West.
No, it just covered.
I think they get like $1 million a team or something like that, or maybe even less. But let's say Boise State, who has been one of the better college football programs over the last 2 decades. They look around and they're in the Mountain West, and the Pac-Dub comes calling, and you already see that those guys are getting 3.6. I can triple my money up just by going to the Pac-Dub over here. I think that's a win-win situation. I think Gonzaga, Nevada, Boise State, Colorado State, schools like that, they're gonna all end up in Pac-12, plus some of those teams like from from Conference USA and American. I think they're gonna steal a bunch of teams. The Pac-12's coming back, guys.
Yep.
No one's saying this right now. Your boy is. Pac-12's coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they're getting 3.6 million. I read that and I was like, excuse me. I was so shocked by that.
Think about it. If you're broken homeless, you're sleeping next to a dumpster, someone hands you a bag with 3.6 million. Faith is on the way to coming back. Faith is on the come up.
Yep.
Am I right?
You're right.
Well, think about this. They were given like a $300 million bag of cash. Plus, all the teams that are in the Pac-12, like I said, playing in March Madness, as they keep winning, they get more money.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't. They do. The Pac, duh. Pac-2.
Yep.
Every time a Pac-12 team wins, they're singing that the song with Method Man, "Cash Rules Everything Around Me," because it's like raining money for them,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't got to work for it. They just get showered with money. Sorry.
Oh, goodness. Alrighty. Well, with that statement, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about whether or not Mike Tyson still has it, with it in quotations. We'll see you guys in a minute.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier we were discussing the Pac-12 agreeing to a significant distribution bump for Oregon State and Washington State, and now we're going to be talking about Mike Tyson and whether or not he still has it. Still got it.
All right, I'm interested in this one.
Yeah, so we've been talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul a lot lately. It's been a hot topic around the internet lately since they are going to be competing in the ring together in July, I think.
One is 28, one is 58.
Yes, and Mike Tyson will be... I think Mike Tyson will be 59 by the time this goes around, or he's 57.
He doesn't need to get any older.
Yeah.
Let whatever it is, just let it pause right there. He does not need to
Mm-hmm.
get any older and be getting in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So okay, so what's to this one here?
Okay, so Mike Tyson might look devastating on pads for Jake Paul fight, but that doesn't mean he still has it. Mike Tyson was one of the most devastating heavyweights of all time. Watching social media posts of him hitting the pads, you might think he still has it. And where I got this article, it said this person thinks that he's wrong. They're wrong. That Mike Tyson's just not going to do well. But it said, give me 10 days with a novice and I would have them looking sensational on the pads, but that would not mean a thing in the ring. Everything changes when you get hit. What we're not seeing is Tyson in sparring. You can tell absolutely zero about his condition from the pads. He's kept himself in reasonable shape, but that is not the same thing as being fighting fit and able to take punches. As people get older, punch resistance disappears and never comes back. We all get old. We are not same physically as we were in our youth. I've seen too many examples of guys who can take shots in their 20s who can't in their 30s. Even in his prime, Mike Tyson wasn't the same fighter in the later rounds that he was in the first 6. He looked shot in his last fight against Kevin McBride 19 years ago, and he hasn't gotten any better. They recall how fantastic he looked on the pads with Don Turner before his fight against Francis Botha in 1990. Tyson was coming off in...
I think it's the White Buffalo.
A what?
I think his nickname is the White Buffalo or something like that.
Tyson was coming off a 18-month layoff after biting Evander Holyfield's ear. He could barely lay a glove on Botha before catching him with an uppercut in the 5th. Even though Jake Paul is a little more than a white-collar fighter, he can wallop. We don't even know if we can trust what we are seeing here. The whole thing could be choreographed. There are questions to be asked of the relevant authorities in Texas for sanctioning this in the first place, given the dangers inherent in allowing a 57-year-old man to fight in these circumstances. May the outcome be already arranged. We don't know what to think. They can't see how this is a legitimate contest in any way, shape, or form. It just doesn't seem real. So.
Okay. First thing, I'm gonna. He says one thing that makes me question how biased or unbiased.
I mean, this seems pretty biased, but
okay, and here's the reason why. When Mike fought Francois Botha, Mike didn't look great, but Mike didn't look horrible either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Francois Botha was a top-rated prize fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Fought for a few titles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he ever won a title or anything, but he was a contender.
Mm-hmm.
And it was competitive. Tyson started getting a little rough with him, started fouling, tried to break his arm at one point. That did happen. And then eventually Tyson caught him and he went to Dream Street. Okay, this is kind of what I'm talking about with this fight here. Do I think I just saw Faith have a sneeze on it, but I'm just going to keep on talking about it.
Sorry.
I'm just messing with you, Faith. It happens in life here. I think everything he's saying is true. Mm-hmm. Tyson hasn't looked good in years. Over 20 years, he hasn't looked good as a fighter. And I was saying the same thing. I have seen yours truly hitting the heavy bag, hitting the pads. I look rough. Mm-hmm. Faith, I can't whoop you. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, take me to late round space and wear me out.
He always says that, but he forgets that I've never been in a physical altercation ever in my lifetime. So.
That's how bad I am right now. That's what I'm telling you. And I would look good hitting the pads. I really would be. Mm-hmm. And no, I keep telling everyone, I am not comparing myself to Mike Tyson. I give Tyson a puncher's chance. Kind of like the Francois Botha situation. If Jake Paul goes in there and gets careless in the first 2 rounds, then Tyson has a chance. Tyson has a chance to catch him and put him to sleep.
Right.
But as far as skills go, I don't think they'll be anywhere close on the same page. I got Jake Paul just far superior than Tyson is now. I'm not saying Tyson when he was fighting in his prime. I'm not saying that. I'm saying 58-year-old Tyson. The Geritol Fighter of the Week Club. That's who he's 57, 58. But no, I don't put him in the same category as a 28-year-old kid who has been fighting for the last 5 years. A guy who's been training for the last 5 years. Tyson really hasn't been training at all. Yes, he hits the pads and things like that, and that looks awesome on social media. You see him on TikTok, and he's lighting that bag up. He's like that dude. He's hitting it and everything else.
Scary to watch. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Faith?
Yes.
You answer this because you've seen him hitting the bag. How long are those clips?
What do you mean? How old are they?
No, how long are they?
Oh, they're like maybe 30 seconds, if that.
you can put a whole heck of a lot out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You can take, you know what I mean? You can put everything you got into that shot. That's like a 30-second or 1 minute clip. Show me. I'm not even saying the sparring because he's absolutely right. Massive difference. When you're talking about pads, and the reason why a guy can look so great with pads is because it's a fixed target. When the guy puts his hand up there, it's set there before you can hit it. It's not like moving out of the way, bombing, weaving, anything like that. It's a fixed target. When he hits, he has the pads on his stomach. He's there to get hit in the stomach, so he raises it up. There's no guard down. There's no pushing away. Remember when we were talking about Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou and how he used that jab as a rangefinder to keep him at bay and then hit him with that overhand right? Well, there isn't a jab out there to keep you at distance. There's not someone pushing you away and moving and rotating. It's just a fixed guy, just hammering on the bag, hammering on some guy that's there to get hit with padding in the stomach. That's not going to be the case. Then, as you get older, your muscles aren't the same. Your neck muscles, things like that. You can't take those shots like you used to. That's the reason why I give Mike no chance. This guy is saying everything that I am saying, and I'm a Mike Tyson fan who would, like I told you, if Mike catches him in that first or second round and he goes to sleep, I'm gonna be screaming like a little girl. I'm gonna be. You're gonna think there's like some 7-year-old girl and Taylor Swift and just walked into their house, because that's how I'm gonna be screaming. I'm gonna be screaming like a little kid seeing Taylor Swift, because I would love to see Tyson do this. I just don't give him any chance of pulling it off. Zero. That's why I'd be very happy about it. I know the fight game, whether it's boxing or MMA, judo, jiu-jitsu. I'm not doing this on a competitive level, but I have trained it. I have competed, and I know what it's like then and now. I don't know what it's like to be Mike Tyson. That's another level. That's Hall of Fame, greatest of the greats level. But there's only one thing greater than the greats, and that's Father Time. Father Time packs a mean punch.
It does. He does. Yeah.
I have seen some of the best athletes I've been fortunate enough to be able to work with a number of different professional athletes over the years, and I see what some of these guys are like. I've been around Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is still impressive, but I've seen the Rod Woodsons and things, and they're not on the same level as they once were. I see Kareem. Kareem is maybe the nastiest basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Right now, high school kids would just school him, absolutely school him. Same with Tyson. You can't be 58 and think you're gonna get in the ring with a 28-year-old prize fighter, not a YouTuber, and think it's going to go well. I don't see it, but see, he does bring up the fact that we don't know what the negotiations is. This is categorized as an exhibition. This is not categorized as a prize fight. And so there could be negotiated things that we don't know about. More padding in the glove. Maybe we're just sparring and we're not trying to knock each other out. Things like that. That's a dangerous thing. I'm not negotiating that with Mike Tyson. One, Mike has not always been the most stable person.
What?
So even if you go into it with a business decision, he could go in business for himself. Being like, I still got it. And whack. And next thing you know, you're waking up, you're on the cover of ESPN or Sports Center starting out leading with you, your head on the mat, butt in the air, and you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
No. So you gotta be careful. I don't give him a chance, so that's just flat out. Okay. When you hear me talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, he's going to be 58 when he gets in the ring. I mean, trying to fight a 27-year-old who is not that bad. He's pretty good from what I've seen, So, I mean, as much as I would love for Mike Tyson to pull through and win, it's a very low chance that I think of it happening.
Let's talk with our very first topic of the day. Shedeur Sanders, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur ended his season with a broken back. Okay? Yeah. You take a 58-year-old football player and you break his back.
Yeah, see what happens.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah.
He's not like the season is already over. Mm-hmm. It's not even close to time. It's spring practice is just starting. Yeah. He's out there playing like it never happened. He's like, my back's even better. that broken back just kind of loosened things up a little bit. It's all good.
Yeah.
You break your back as a 58-year-old man.
You're done.
Girl, you got a cane. You got a walker. Mm-hmm. You got a rascal to ride around in. You got it all, because it's gonna take you another 45 years to heal up from a broken back.
Mm-hmm.
Not when you're 22, 24, 28. Just a big difference. This is no disrespect toward Mike. This is disrespect to his age.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting at.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we'll see you in a minute.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and now, as always, at the end of the show, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day.
Let's talk about some oddities. Faith, I'm calling, putting Faith business out on the street again. Yo, Faith went on break. She dropped one finger, did a pivot. I thought she was like Carl Lewis or Usain Bolt, somebody. She turned around and took off.
I did, yeah.
I'm waiting on you to pull a hammy.
No.
You just roll around on that floor.
I was getting ready.
My butt off.
Sorry, I drank a lot of water this morning, so I had to go to the bathroom. I had to do a quick bathroom break.
So, production question. When you do the commercial break, it automatically repeats, right?
Does it?
Or did you make it back in time?
I made it back in time.
Okay, I was just making sure. I'm like, I gotta remember what happens if you. I'm like, I don't think there's another one queued up, so I think it's just that one. So I'm like, oh boy.
All is fine. I promise.
Mere bag of shells, no problem.
Yeah, sorry. When you drink water and then you have tea for your caffeine of the day, you have to go to the bathroom a lot. So.
Wait, do you know what that is? You know what I tell you? There are consequences and repercussions for your actions.
I know, and I went before the show started, but
Oh. The crazy thing is you're talking about it, and now it's making me want to go.
Yeah. No, it's like the more you think about it, the more you have to go. Because I honestly had to go at the beginning of the show, and I just kept thinking about it, and it's a mentality thing. And when you think you have to go to the bathroom, it just makes it worse. So.
And see, I have a system. 5 minutes before I'm getting on with you, I always do my bathroom break.
I did a bathroom break too before. What are you gonna do though?
I'm not getting on you. I'm just saying I just have a system to make sure it doesn't happen. And because we're talking about it, now I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna leave y'all. I'm sticking it out.
I make sure I wait for a break. It's not like I'm leaving the audience in the middle of a segment.
Mid-sentence, they hit y'all with the deuces and just turn and run.
Oh, gosh. All right.
All right.
So, our oddity of the day. A woman is selling $10 selfies with a pink Starbucks Stanley Cup for people who didn't get one or couldn't afford one. So, if you guys don't know or haven't heard by now, the hype of the Stanley Tumbler Cups, not to be mistaken with the Stanley Cup from the hockey.
No crap. What she's saying is, when she first brought this story on, I don't normally know about these oddities.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm not prepped beforehand. And so she started talking about the Stanley Cup and this person having the Stanley Cup or so. And I'm like, what, did they steal? I'm confused. I'm like,
yeah,
how did
the
you get the
stolen
Stanley Cup?
Cups. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, how do you get that? How do you get so many of them? I'm like, what's going on? Then she dropped some knowledge on me. Then I understood what she was saying. So now
the big Stanley Cups.
No. The big Stanley Cup is Lord Stanley's cup.
We're not talking about Lord. I mean, but they're big tumbler cups,
Yes, I got you.
Okay. Anyway, so if you guys don't know about Stanley Cups, there's these really big, like, tumbler cups. They're, like, similar to the Yeti or whatever, but they have straw. Everybody's going crazy for these things, and they're like $45, $50 for one stainless steel cup. I don't understand what the big hype is about it. I refuse to buy a Stanley Cup. This cup I have right here, I got at Five Below for $5.
Actually, okay. Mine, I have like 5 of these, and they're all beat to hell. Been using the same one for years. Look how bad mine is.
Oh gosh.
This used to be all painted all nice and black and all nice. But I'm like, no, it works good. It
just looks like a design. It looks intentional.
Looks like it was shot with a machine gun. So, if anyone wants to send me a Stanley, y'all go right ahead.
So, because these cups are so expensive, a lot of people can't afford to buy them, so they'll buy the knockoffs or whatever like that. But recently, about a month ago, the Stanley company came out with these Valentine's Day pink Stanley Cups, and they collabed with Starbucks, so I think they went for even more than what they are normally priced at for these special Valentine's Day cups. So, this story is about this lady who is like offering to rent out her Stanley Cup, basically, for people to take photos with. So if you weren't able to get your hands on one of the big Valentine's Day pink Stanley Cups, you still may be in luck, as a woman revealed she's willing to rent out her Stanley Cup for selfies. Posting on Facebook Marketplace, the entrepreneur wrote, "Selling selfies with the authentic pink Starbucks Stanley Cup. If you couldn't buy one, now's your chance to take some cool pictures for only $10. The photo of the listing was reshared, and it seemed that lots of people were interested in snagging themselves a snap with the cup. One person wrote, "Sugar honey iced tea, getting real." While someone else added, "Sadly, she's about to bank off that." Earlier in February, a month was shared on social media, showed hordes of shoppers racing to a rack filled with Stanley Cups, with some elbowing other customers out of the way to get their hands on the bottle. In a matter of seconds, the 3 shelves stacked with Stanley Cups were almost empty, which proved how popular they were. However, not everyone is blown away by the cups. Over the top of the video of the TikToker said, "I really don't understand the hype around Stanleys, and this comes from a person who has one. I have one for me and one for my husband, and that's literally all I need." Am I literally missing something? Is it the goal for everyone to collect as many colors as you can? What happens to the other cups when you have? Do they just retire on the shelf while you get a new one? Is it your goal to collect as many Stanleys as possible? These are low-key expensive. It's a cup with a straw. Really, these people are almost risking their lives for a cup with a straw. This is why Black Friday was a thing this year. It's why they started having deals online from early on. Savage. It's a cup with a straw. It's never that serious. So.
Okay, Faith.
Yes.
There's a story inside of the story here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you inside of the twisted brain of Andrew Tate.
I think I'm already in it, but
okay. I'm like, when this came up, I'm like, I didn't catch on initially what the story was about.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard woman was charging for people to take a picture with her pink Stanley, I thought she was talking about something else at first.
What did you think I was talking about?
Ooh, Faith, just read between the lines. Don't ask me to spell that one out.
I don't know what you're talking about. No, so I'll just ask you after the show. I don't know. I guess that went.
Wow, thank you. Holy crap. Well, okay, then we're gonna leave this one alone because I'm rolling over here because you have no clue. And this is why I love Faith, because she keeps her eye on the prize.
Mm-hmm.
She's focused.
Yes, she's focused.
And then there's me, who totally thought this was like a totally different story. And then she started talking about Stanley Cups, and then I understood what she was saying, because I don't quite know what she's giving me initially. So I don't have any information pre-prep for this.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the side story. I'll explain it to you later. Okay. So now, see, this my head ruined the story for me. Oh,
jeez.
Okay, so, are these things really that popular that you can rent yours out? You wait a minute though. Do you get, like, for the $10, you get a pitcher and a sip off of it?
I don't even know if you get to use it. I don't even think you get to use it. I think you just
rent
it out.
If I'm dropping $10, I want. Okay, I can't keep the Stanley, but I better be able to, I get my own fresh straw. I don't want the one that Becky was drinking out of. I want my own straw. You know what I mean? I want to be able to put my straw in there so I know it ain't nobody else's cooties on it, and then I'm gonna take my drink with it. But I'm not doing that. Why?
Yeah.
It's a cup. It's a cup. It's not even a nice cup. That's the thing. Is it a nice cup to you?
No, not really.
It is a tumbler, a cup. I'd rather go to 7-Eleven and get me a big gulp cup. You know those big, now some
99 cents.
the big Boss Hog 7-Eleven cup, I could see something like that. But the Stanley, no, just because, and this is only popular because someone set their car on fire or their car caught on fire. I'm not going to make accusations to them setting their own car on fire. That was wrong with me. But, and they were like, dang, the car burned up, but the Stanley still had ice in it.
Yeah.
Listen, if you live in a place where it's so hot that it's going to melt your car and you need something that's going to be able to burn around it and you can still have ice in it, then you live in the wrong place. You can't be living in a volcano. Am I right?
You're right.
Know, it's not necessary. And if you're going to drop $100 on a cup, there better be, I mean, this thing better blow my mind. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be like, oh, no, you didn't. You got the Stanley. And it's like, there's lasers coming out of it. It's making every sip it automatically refills with a cold beverage of your choice. Like, this thing sucker better has artificial intelligence in it. It's giving you everything. I don't see the benefit of buying a cup.
People like buy accessories for their Stanley Cups now. Like there's little charm bracelets you can put on it, a little stopper for your straw. You can buy this little bowl that'll attach to it that you can put like snacks in.
Like, okay, so the bowl with the snacks, can you walk around with that too?
Yeah.
Because now you may be on to something.
It goes on top of the cup. Yeah, and you can carry your Stanley Cup with the snacks on top of it.
Now, see, I can see some people getting their fat Deion on that one. I could see. I could understand that one because you can walk around there, you sipping on your drink, you got see, I'm a closet fat boy at heart. So I'm picturing it got some wings on this side.
Wings?
Nachos on the other side. I got
People
my
are
Stanley.
People are putting chips and crackers in there, not wings and nachos.
Sorry, I apologize. Wings on one side and small little sliders on the other side. You're just walking around, just getting your fat boy on. Then, okay, that one. Now I may pay for that one. The little tray to hang out. Yeah, I can see that. But some of this, it's like so disappointed in me. You got visual aid on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, think about it. You're going to the Florida Georgia game. Okay, you're excited about it. You're walking there. You're in line, but you got your Stanley Cup with this little bowl with some wings and some sliders, some blue cheese and some ranch.
That sounds like a nice concept, but I don't think you'd be allowed to bring a Stanley Cup in anyway.
Also, you're going to, the bonfire afterwards or whatever. I got my drink. You got your wings. You fill it up with your beverage of your choice. I lived in a fraternity house, so I understand some people may fill their Stanley up with non-Coca-Cola products, let's just say. Okay? Or performance-enhanced Coca-Cola products. But you got your wings and then that's an invention. That's what you need to go on. Get you the platter for the Stanley. It's a family business. Your boyfriend is a pastry chef. So there you go. You got the Stanley, the bowl,
You would not.
and then
No.
put pastries around it.
No, you would not catch me with a Stanley Cup. Period. Period. I have a Stanley, like, thermos. It's, like, this big. And during the cold months, my lunch will be soup. And my soup will stay hot and that. But that's the only Stanley thing that I have.
But why would you drop $100 on it? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know. And the fact that people are like down with some lady renting out her Stanley Cup so they can take a selfie with it. Like,
See,
got the new
that's the
Stanley.
reason why. Yeah, that's the reason why I got all messed up on it because I couldn't imagine it being. You gonna listen here?
No, it's
I want to
literally
rent
someone
a
going-
picture. Yeah, I'm renting a picture holding your cup. There gotta be more to it.
no, people are just, they're meeting her in a public setting and she's giving them her cup and she's charging $10 for people to take a picture with her cup and then they give the cup back to her.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Get-
You know.
With these type of
She should be giving out the digits or something. Give out the phone number, give out the Instagram or something.
with these type of people, I literally just want to like grab them, shake them, and say, "Get a life, dude. Get a life."
See,
It's not-
now you talking like me. If you are the guy paying money to take a picture with a Stanley so you can say, look, I got a picture with a Stanley. You need a better life. You
Yeah.
need more excitement in your life. And if you got a girl,
Yeah.
y'all need to spice it up a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Go out, get you a cheaper
You
knockoff
heard it here
Stanley. Get you a cheaper knockoff Stanley, get you some drinks, and you and your girl go somewhere else. But you don't need
Yeah.
to be taking pictures with anybody
No,
else's Stanley.
Mm.
That's all I'm saying here is that no one needs to be. It's not like you're taking pictures. It'd be different to be like, oh, here's what was that? I can't even think. Oh, this will make you smile. But it's not like they were like, hey, can I take a picture with your emotional support marmoset?
Oh, the marmoset.
See, that would be something to take a picture with, not
Not
your
a cup.
Stanley drink cup. Like
Yeah.
that cup there, Faith, you're like,
$5.
to take a picture with that cup. I
I'll
don't
charge
care
y'all
if-
50 cents to take a picture with this cup.
Ooh, Faith, be careful, girl. Be careful. You don't understand some of our viewers out there.
With the cup. The cup. Only the cup.
Yes.
50 cents.
Hey, no, listen, I'm your agent. You are not selling for 50 cents. $10 and up.
But it's a $5 cup.
You can't be selling yourself short.
Anyway.
You lower 50 cents, you're lowering the value of the show.
What show?
This show. You're getting free advertisement out of that. No, 50, you gotta make more than that off of that.
Oh, gosh. I'm not selling. Let me just put this out there. I'm not renting anything out for anybody. Put that out there.
Ooh boy. Woosa.
But we're gonna close out the show. We're gonna close out the show.
You did this. Not me.
I know.
You did
It's
this. I'm not
always
renting out anything, guys.
I always do it to myself. Sorry. It always is so like when I say something in my head, it's innocent, and then it comes out, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait, no, I take it back. Anyway, we're gonna close out the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.